running through the grave, from the shadows to the screen. They decode what the silence means. Click subscribe, let the veil be torn. This is the news we've been waiting for. Turning away, global watchmen leading the way. Every story, every thread, for the living and the misled. Raise your voice, let the signal soar. This is the news we've been waiting for.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Larry Swan. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you were in the live chat, we do ask to keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platform we're utilizing tonight. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so you know when we go live. So as you know, the world is pretty much up in extreme and total chaos at the moment. And this is something that we at Global Watchman News and Exposing Satanic World Government and all of our other channels have been telling you guys about for quite some time. And tonight, Robbie D is joining Global Watchman News to talk to us about a lot of things, first off, that we're not being told by our U.S. media, and things that we want to revisit that we've talked about in the past. Welcome back, Robbie D.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a while. Yeah, but I'm back.
Well, I mean, we knew that you would be back eventually, and we knew that the timing was all going to pretty much be up to God. And it seems that things are coming to fruition that we've talked about for years, Robbie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it was going to happen eventually, and here we are. You know, we spent that much time talking about it. We spent the best part of a decade explaining it, and it didn't really, you know, it's one thing talking about it, but when it's there right in front of your face, right? I mean, since the last time that I mean, I could go back to like 6 years ago when I did that show. Yeah. That we'll be talking about tonight as well. 6 years have passed and so many things have happened. I mean, we had the COVID situation, and we all know about what all that was about. And now the world knows about it as well, thanks to the Epstein files and whatnot. Yeah. And but now we are in probably one of the most dangerous times that the world has ever experienced. Christ did warn us, you know, and we've warned the world, and now the world is now living in it right now. And we are in extraordinary times. I've got to say that.
Yeah, this is something that I prayed very, very hard that I wouldn't see it. You know, we're wrong. And I mean, I knew we were right about everything, but I just didn't want it to happen this quickly. And everything's been escalating just in the past 60 days. I mean, let me ask you a question, Robbie.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So do you think the timing of this is coinciding with the release of the Epstein files? I mean, do you think that they would go to the extreme of starting World War III to prevent people from reading the files?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yes and no. Yeah. As we know, nothing happens by coincidence. There's no such thing in this situation. But the Epstein files do play a major part of it, because, okay, we know it's a script, or the script, yeah, but they have to tell us exactly ahead of time. Yeah, we know it's their karmic whatever, yeah, right. So it doesn't go back on them. But the Epstein files play a very important role in this. Now, as I explained back 6 years, literally 6 years ago and change, yeah, that I explained what the agenda is going to be and how the release of the information about the exposure of this satanic cult would play into this situation, and it has. I mean, the last 3 weeks has been absolutely mental with information. I mean, if anybody's been on my Facebook, yeah, it was literally non-stop. And
but you told us the way this was going to happen, and you actually called it. You said that it was going to be equivalent to a fire sale. You said that and it's weird because the words that you used, I've heard multiple times in the last couple, probably the last week, and that was burning, taking down the system, burning down the system. They said that there can't be any arrests. They can't arrest everybody because if they did, the system would collapse. But that's exactly what they want, isn't it, Robbie? Because it's the only way they can bring in. Everybody thinks, oh, this is a good thing, but it's not going to be.
Oh, it's not. I mean, in an ideal world, it would be. It'd be absolutely beautiful. You know, we could arrest all these horrible, evil monsters. That's the only way you can describe. They are monsters, right? And burn them all down. Just put them all on trial, yeah. And for a better sense of a word, have them all executed and taken out of this world, right? Which is probably what might happen. But unfortunately, there's a hidden agenda amongst all that as well. And like I said, it's been 6 years now since I explained it. And it is, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, all the so-called, there's no such thing as a conspiracy theorist anymore, right? Because everything that they said was true. Every last word of it, yeah. And, I mean, I sit there every day thinking, oh, God, I wish I was wrong. But I'm not. Yeah, because it wasn't my truth and it wasn't your truth and it wasn't anybody else's truth. It was the truth itself, right? And it was as plain as day, right? I mean, I found it by accident. I mean, anybody that's listening for the first time, I mean, obviously, right, with the amount of people that are on air, obviously there'll be other people that'll be listening to this show for the first time. Yeah. And let me just turn that off. Yeah. I found it on a website, which was I later found. It took me. I mean, I found it by accident. I was just skimming through. I was on my phone and I was skimming through DuckDuckGo or Google at the time, and I was looking for things about 9/11 because that 9/11 was the thing that started me properly. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, yeah, you know, the type of conspiracy around it was not the same as the awakening that I had back in 2014, which was 9/11, right? But later on down the road, right, I was just looking because, you know, we spent hundreds of hours researching every topic and every rabbit hole that we could go down, yeah. And then I found this article called "Satan Wants You to Know 9/11 was an inside job," and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So I had a good read of it. I started reading it and I was looking at it and I was thinking, wow, this is something else. This is interesting. Now, for anybody that didn't really listen to the show 6 years ago, I'll try and give you a brief summary. Basically, we know that Satan is the god of this world. Yeah. Lucifer, Satan, whoever you want to call him. Yeah. And he's, from lack of a better term, is a very intelligent being, right? Yeah, and very cunning as well, right? He's always got a plan A to a plan B to a plan C to, you know, because he's been doing this for a long time, a very long time, and he's got a lot of people, right, that he's made promises to, and we know all them promises are false, but for some reason they believe it, yeah, right? Because like Abe Finkelstein said, they got 2 books, yeah, and in their book they believe that they're going to win, right? And they believe it so much that they're prepared to not only sell their soul but sacrifice their life as well, right? And they'll sacrifice the whole world if they have to, which is the plan anyway, right? We know it's in their book. We've read their book. We've read the learned elder, the scrolls of the learned elders of Zion, right? All the protocols, yeah, right. So we know what they want, yeah, and we know how they're going about it. And it's not just a pipe dream or a wish, right? It's policy, right? We see it right now. We saw it during COVID, right? We saw it acting out, right? Which was the test run, the beta test, and this is now the real deal. This is the real thing, right? So basically, 9/11 right, was the most sloppiest operation ever because it had so many holes in it. Yeah, it was so much evidence that it was so easy to pull it apart. Yeah, I mean, it was the structural, it was all the engineers first, and then all the conspiracy theorists came out and whatnot, and they were at it for years, and then the mainstream started putting conspiracies out about it, and then it died down a little bit, right? And you got to remember, we went, the world, well, America went to war based on 9/11. Yeah, weapons of mass destruction and everything that was connected to it. Yeah,
Right.
but then as time passed, right, and it started to pick up again, right, and that's around about 2014 when I started off with 9/11. Yeah, that took me down the rabbit hole to find out about this agenda, this new world order agenda that I'd only heard in subconsciously. Yeah, we'd all been taught it subconsciously our whole lives, but we didn't really know anything about it until the internet and everything sort of spewed this information out, and it was just there in pieces to be picked up and put together like a jigsaw puzzle, which a lot of us did. And that's how I met you. Yeah, that's how I met all the others. Yeah, and this article basically said that 9/11 was meant to be found out because it would lead you on a journey, right, and down so many rabbit holes that would sort of interconnect, and then it would eventually bring you to the New World Order agenda and who's behind it, right? The pyramid, the 13 bloodline families, and everything above, right? And it said that it was done. It was basically done on purpose for us to lead there. It was going to lead us there, right? And then when we got to a certain point, right, a man or a person would be brought onto the stage, onto the world stage, where the satanic side of everything that we know about the trafficking, the child sacrifice, the bloodline families, all the hunting parties, everything, every nasty little thing, the pizza behind the big gate, yeah, which we had a very big part in exposing, actually, for anyone that's listening, because we were the first people in the whole entire of the conspiracy world to not only expose it but bring it to light. And it was a certain person by the name of Alex Jones that picked up on our broadcast and actually reported on it, and that's when we had about 70 to 80,000 views on that one podcast alone, right? It's not trying to take any credit for it, but it just happened. It was just a coincidence. It was a mad coincidence, wasn't it, Laurie?
It was. Yeah, it was kind of like we reported on the right thing at the right time.
At the right time. It was just by happen chance that we managed to do that. But anyway, right? So the agenda goes like this: that a certain person would be brought out onto the scene where they would expose the whole of the agenda to the world, right? All of it would be put out, laid to bear for the whole world to see, right? The world would recoil in horror. Got to remember, right? Only 2% of the files have been released out of all of it. Yeah, all the 98% of it is the really bad stuff, right? And we know that the DOJ and Pam Bondi has just released some more files. The 47,000 missing pages. That's 38,000 files, right? There's 47,000 pages, right? That they said they never had, right? And this is all the really, really bad. Not all the bad stuff, but worse than what we've actually seen so far, right?
Yeah.
So and that's a bit of a coincidence because she's been subpoenaed and all that, but that's neither here nor there. Basically, what Satan's plan is, right, is because we know that he and all his little followers, all the secret societies and masons, whatever you want to call them, right, they love pointing their finger at themselves, right, and go, ha ha, right? So his big plan is to do the same, but with the whole agenda, right? Expose the New World Order. The New World Order is a satanic New World Order that we've all researched and all are recording horror that we've explained to the world, right? At great cost to ourselves. And a lot of truthers are not here anymore. Some of them have paid dearly, right, to get this information out. Yeah. They've basically what he would do is expose it. The world would recall in horror and demand that these people, the 13 bloodline families, going all the way up for the Rothschilds, all the way up to I reckon it'll go all the way up to the Orsini's and beyond, right? I reckon they'd do that. I even said to someone the other day, I reckon that they are going to throw Vanguard and BlackRock under the bus. Yeah. Right. And then people demand that these people are dealt with, right? So these people are tried, right? So we say a little letter out of the alphabet. Yeah. Comes after P. Yeah. They're all put on trial. They're dealt with, right? The world cheers. Yeah. Because the New World Order is destroyed, right? They've destroyed the New World Order.
And that's essentially been Trump's war cry. It's basically been his mantra, that he's going to take down. Yeah. So, I mean, this is not new. I mean, this is something
it's not.
That he's actually verified for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anybody listens to the X-22 report, and obviously I do, I hadn't for a long while, but I started listening to it again over the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Right. Because at the end of the day, it is information, really, when you think about it. Yeah.
Take the meat and throw out the bones.
It's all bones, right?
Oh,
it is all bones because we know what Q is. Let's just have it right. Yeah, it's a Jesuit operation, and it always has been, right? But it gives you a window and an insight to where the blueprint, where the path goes, right? So he exposes it, yeah, essentially destroying the New World Order. Now, why would Satan want to do that? Why would he want to destroy the thing he spent centuries building up? Because basically it's not the real New World Order. The real New World Order is going to come in a minute, right? Now, what would that be, you might say? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, it's going to be the thing that you voted for, right? Which will be peace, love and light, peace and security, peace and safety, world peace. It's going to fall into the alien agenda card that they yet to pull, which is going to come really soon, right? It's going to come with the ascension. It's going to come with the new age, right? Right now, the thing that always got me with the researching the New World Order, how could they have all this new age part of it alongside the 1984 style boot on your face thing? The two things don't marry. They're two different opposing things, right? Well, that's how they're going to do this. Yeah, they're going to destroy one and they're going to implement another, but it's going to be consented by the people of the world. The world is going to demand it. So the New World Order has been destroyed. Everybody cheers as a sigh of relief, right? And they say, well, we don't ever want that again. But they say, that's fine. We'll have a New World Order, but it'll be a different one. It'll be a better one. It'll be the whole brand new, brave new world, Alice Bailey, Blavatsky type thing, yeah? Right? And the world will... What was the famous quote that someone said? You shall have a New World Order, but either by conquest or consent. Yeah? Well, it'll be by consent because the world will vote for it. Yeah, they'll not only vote for it, they'll demand it. Yeah, and that's the new world. That will be the real New World Order. So they've got all this apparatus that's been set up, right, for the satanic New World Order. It's still in place. So I say, all right, we'll use all this, right, and we'll have our own New World Order, right, for the people. Yeah, it'll involve all the peace and enlightenment, right? It'll have its one world government, yeah, because by then all the institutions, all the governments of the world have collapsed, yeah, which is in the process of doing it right now. But what they need to do is they need to smash everything up. They need to destroy it, yeah. Like I said, it's a fire sale. Everything must go, right? So they'll expose everything. I reckon they'll expose all the secrets. Well, they've started. They've already started exposing the secret societies, yeah. What was it the other day? I think it was the New York Times. It's either the New York Times or the New York Post released a list of 2,000 names that had previously attended Bohemian Grove. This is a mainstream. Yeah. This is a mainstream media outlet. Yeah. Why would they do that? Yeah, because the system wants it. Why is it, Laurie, that we can freely talk about things that would get our 30,000 channel kicked off 5 years ago?
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we went live. You know, I was saying that, we lost
I'm going on a little bit here, but
we lost our we lost our channel because they told us that, we were reporting fake news, that Pizzagate was fake. That was, and we had the proof that it wasn't. We had these files. I mean, we haven't had all of these files, but I mean, we had some of these files. We've had his little black book. We've had the flight logs. We've had some of the videos, and we've had the things. We had the peripheral things around it. We didn't have, we had like Abramovich, and we had the Podestas, and we had all of these things. We had like the peripheral around this whole thing. So we knew that we were telling the truth. What is his name from Ping Pong Pizza?
James Alefantis.
James Alefantis threatened to sue us. You don't do that. You don't do that if it's fake. We had the audio tape of Podesta and that child. I mean, we had the proof that what we were saying was true, and we still lost our channel. And now, lo and behold, it's all been true. Every last thing we've said.
Every last syllable of it, yeah. And all the conspiracy. I hate that word. It absolutely disgusts me. Yeah. All the people that are in the truth should give themselves a little pat on the back. Yeah. But really, you need to give glory to the Most High, because, it's all down to Him. He warned us about it. Yeah. Christ warned us about it. And now here we are. Yeah. But there's so much there is so much, right? So this is Satan's agenda, right? That he is going to introduce the real New World Order, right? Like the good book says, yeah, Satan deceives the whole world, right? Mm-hmm. How on earth does he do that if everybody's awoke to the New World Order? Because he's going to give you everything that you've been demanding, right? Mm-hmm. To expose the New World Order and essentially destroy it, but it's not the real one. It's always been the fake one, right? But then again, it could have been the real one, because it's one way or the other. You know what I mean? They've always got a plan B to the plan A, a plan C to the plan B, and so on, right? They've always got 5 plans in motion, and if 4 of them don't work and one does, they'll move ahead with that one. It's always been incremental, but now they're running out of time, right? The agenda is on. Right, they've only got a certain amount of time to get this in place, yeah, and everything's all ready to go. So the last card, was World War, right? We know through Albert Pike, yeah, that this would be the one, the big one. Right?
And we knew the exact people that would be involved in it. We knew right down to pretty much the land or the area that it was going to take place in. And it's boom, right as Pike is right as he wrote the letter to Manzini.
Yeah. Now we all know about the Greater Israel Project, right? It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It is now in practice. And well, let me just play a little video here of what their next plan is. Right, I've got a few videos up here. I got right, so let's just give this a little go, shall we?
So we just got done talking about what is the end game for the United States. This is the game you've been talking about. This here it is. This is the game that Israel is playing, and they've been playing this game since 1948, if not longer. And it's called the Greater Israel Project. Reminder that that Israel is currently building the Greater Israel. That's why they're shifting focus to Lebanon after having wiped out Palestine. Then Syria, Yemen. So this is a tweet from 2024. This is from 2 years ago. So they go to Syria. They already did it. They got their half of Syria. They split up Syria. They have control of the part of Syria they want. That is the part of Greater Israel. They're still bombing Yemen. We did Iraq for them. So they're going to go after Turkey next, and Egypt and Saudi Arabia. But here it is. This is the Greater Israel Project. So it goes into Egypt. It goes into Syria. They got it. It goes into Iraq. And it also goes into Saudi Arabia. So if Saudi Arabia thinks that they're on the same side as Israel and the United States, they're wrong, because here, I'll show you right now. Here's Avril Limpkin. I forget. He's a politician and a writer. And here he's going to tell you exactly what the goal is of Israel.
Eventually, our borders will extend from Lebanon to the Great Desert, which is Saudi Arabia, and then from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates. And who's on the other side of the Euphrates? The Kurds. And the Kurds are our friends. So we have the Mediterranean behind us, the Kurds in front of us, Lebanon, which really needs the umbrella of protection of Israel. And then I believe we're going to take Mecca, Medina, and Mount Sinai.
So he's talking about they're going to go in and take over half of Saudi Arabia. That's what he's saying right there. That they're going to go in and take over half of Iraq. They're going to take over half of Syria. They've done it. They're going to take over some of Egypt. And and now they're going to go after, he's literally telling you they're going to go after Mecca, and they're going to go after Saudi Arabia, which, can Saudi Arabia be that naive to think that that's not their plan? Go ahead, Max.
They're paying for that naivete right now. I mean, their oil facilities are getting blown up by U.S. air defense systems as the shrapnel falls to the ground.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is what you get for being a complete vassal and tool and paying into this oil protection racket. But yeah, I mean, I don't know who that whack job is, but he is articulating a real vision of the religious nationalist camp that controls the Israeli government, or effectively, is really like the incipient rising force in Jewish Israeli society. Like, this is what they think. And it's not just the religious nationalists, it's even the secular camp in Israel. Yair Lapid is one of the main opposition figures in Israel. He's considered an opposition figure to Netanyahu. He has said the same thing this week, that there is a biblical vision of a greater Israel between the Euphrates and the Nile, and it is legitimate. The Israeli flag has hijacked the Jewish Star of David, the symbol of my faith community, and placed it between two blue lines, which symbolize the Nile and the Euphrates. The original Jewish National Fund charter for...
So I don't want to play too much of that, because obviously we don't fall into copyright things, but the Greater Israel Project is in effect, a lot of things have been happening over the last few days. Obviously know, there's literally a war in the Middle East against Iran, and there's a lot of countries involved. A lot of them were attacked by Iran. All your bases are either damaged or destroyed. They're gone. Absolutely done. They're finished. It's over with them. And we're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars, taxpayers' dollars, that are literally up in smoke, gone. It's done. It's over as far as the base is, right? And as far as your casualties are concerned, the mainstream media, for some reason, are not being truthful at all, right, about the number of casualties. They said 6. Have they said it was 6, wasn't it, Laurie? But yeah,
That's what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing. That's what's
what
being
you're
reported
hearing.
here. Yeah.
You've had six servicemen, women brought back to the United States. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you for now, right, that is not entirely true. In fact, let me just play you this quickly.
This was an explosion in Miami yesterday. Just so happened, a warehouse blew up. This was an explosion that happened in New Jersey yesterday. Again, another warehouse just magically blew up. And then I'm getting word that this hospital had to be shut down, which is the largest U.S. military hospital outside of the United States, serving American military personnel. And what I'm being told is there are tons of American soldiers being brought in, bodies on bodies on bodies. So much so that they had to shut down the labor and delivery ward because it was full of American soldiers. If you think that these things are just coincidental or that our American media is telling the truth, man, you better wake up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to send you to the comment section so people can fill you in of what's taking place, because there's some stuff that I'm just not allowed to say on here.
What do you reckon to that, Laurie?
It's not surprising to me that we're not being told the truth.
We're not being. What?
We're seeing. It's okay. We're seeing Trump's numbers supposedly plummeting in the polls over here, and Trump is all about how things look, how he looks. So I think that that's probably one of the main reasons why we're not being told about it. Another, because he doesn't have the support. He doesn't have the support of the Pentagon. He doesn't have the support of the higher echelons of the government. And I think that if the truth came out about how many casualties we're experiencing right now, that I think the powers that be that are running the show, i.e. the shadow government, I think they would shut it down.
Yeah, it's funny you should say about his numbers, because isn't a bill just been passed to see if he can get his 3rd term, which is quite ironic, because from where I see it, he doesn't look like he's gonna survive for after the next couple of months. He looks so ill. But saying that,
I saw that picture and I was like, wow.
Yeah. He don't look well. He doesn't look well at all. But this is what the majority of the American people think of the war and the situation.
This is a good idea. And the reason why they don't want it is because they know what it's actually about.
Right.
This is a war that's being pushed by Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
He's been trying to make this war happen for almost 30 years. This is a war that's being pushed by the Saudis, who have also wanted this war to happen. 2 nations that are happy to watch American blood be expended on their behalf. This war is also being pushed because Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. And other people in the White House and other people connected with the Epstein class, they are terrified that we have noticed what they are doing. They're terrified that we're going to start wondering why the hell we let them stay in power. But he wants this.
The thing is, the situation that's going on at the minute, there's a lot of things happening, by certain bad actors. I won't say the actual name of it, but they're FFs, right? The SS Liberty was a FF. 9/11 was a FF. You know what I'm saying, Laurie? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now,
I do.
there was there were certain things happening in the region, lots of little FFs. There was an FF that happened in Cyprus on the British base. Yeah, when a drone hit the tarmac of the runway of their air base, where the British turned around and said, "Well, we don't think that was Iran." Yeah, we think it. Well, they didn't actually elaborate, but they said that it didn't belong to Iran. Now, a few days ago, in Saudi, an oil refinery exploded, right? And then a few hours later, certain Mossad agents were caught trying to leave Saudi Arabia. And I know how difficult it is to get out of Saudi Arabia because I saw a televised drama once about a princess that tried to leave Saudi Arabia and she ended up getting executed. And I remember it back in the 80s when I was a kid, right? So I knew how tough that country is to get out. It's the same as Dubai. Yeah, it's very hard to get in and it's easier to get out than it is to get in, put it that way. I know a certain DJ that spent some time in prison going through Dubai, right? So it's and the Saudis are pissed. They are absolutely pissed, but maybe that's by design because we know that they want part of, like the video said, they want part of Saudi Arabia. Now, what's down in Saudi Arabia? Mount Sinai and somewhere else. Yeah, they want that. They don't just want that. They want Syria. They want
Mecca.
parts of Saudi Arabia. They want Mecca, Medina.
They want Mecca, Medina. Yeah, they want Mecca, Medina. And I'm telling you, this is just. My gut is telling me that they're going to have an FF and they're going to take the Dome of the Rock.
That's the other thing that I was going to get to. Remember when I said all those years ago, yeah, keep your eyes on Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't that long ago, really. It was about 3 years ago, something like when I come into the guest show, yeah? And I said that they were going to absolutely pummel and destroy Gaza. What have they done? Gaza's a parking lot. It's a parking lot.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing, I know a lot of people have different opinions on Charlie Kirk, but Charlie said it, and I think that's part of the reason why they took him out was that he called it. He said that he felt, and I do too, that there was a stand down order given in October, and that was an FF, of course. And Charlie also said that he knew for a fact that Netanyahu had in place a plan to commit complete and total genocide. He was going to wipe them out.
Well, they overtook him out, or they took his hologram out, and it was all a stage, like the so-called Trump assassination. Yeah, the one where his ear grew back overnight. Yeah, right. Because it falls into this agenda that I told you that they're going to reveal everything and put it all on the table and whatnot. Yeah, but it's all a stage, isn't it? It's all a script. Yeah.
Well, having this, the script. There's so many actors that they have to keep in line. Look at Netanyahu has been to the United States 5 times in the last couple months.
Yep.
He's come over here. This, and you had said it, and I had said it. I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and you had said the exact same thing. I had seen 2 or 3 other people on social media saying the exact same thing, and that is that the United States right now is being blackmailed by Israel. They have everything. Israel, Epstein was Mossad. And if he wasn't, Ghislaine Maxwell was, okay. So there was a Mossad connection. All of the information was passed on to Israel. That information was placed into a data center. They have everything, and it's all unredacted. They have everything, and AIPAC has done its job in the last couple of years, 2 to 3 years, coming over to the United States and paying our politicians. I'm sorry, but I have to laugh. Actually, I don't even laugh. I cringe when I hear a politician say the 2 words, America first. There is no way these politicians that are sitting in Washington right now, there is no way they put America first. It's Israel first. And Netanyahu's been over here just to remind everybody, look, at our money's paid for you. You are all bought and paid for, and I have the files.
Yeah. Let me just play this quickly.
And the rest of it. I don't think this was just a madness of Epstein.
Let me just rewind it.
It was fun.
Earlier when you said Israel's Epstein button.
Epstein had between 5 and 10 million files.
Right.
We're talking about one of the greatest database of crime, probably the greatest ever. I don't think any mafia organization can compete with Epstein. And we have to ask ourselves a simple question. Why? What was he collecting all this for? Is an amateur collector of emails, of spicy pictures, sexy behavior, and worse, pedophilia and the rest of it? I don't think this was just a madness of Epstein. It was functional. He was collecting evidence. Now, who was he collecting evidence for? Some people are trying to hide their tracks by saying that he was collecting evidence for Russia.
Oh my God.
This is basically a mafia collection of evidence about people that can be used by those who have the evidence. And therefore, there are Epstein buttons for every politician in the West. And they use them. We could see that President Trump was not very happy when Netanyahu came to see him, because Netanyahu came to give him orders. And that's what you're going to do, Donald. And if you don't do that, we press the Epstein button. He's entrapped not just by the Epstein button, but by the Zionist millionaires and billionaires who are financing him, all the gifts that he has collected. And now he is a prisoner of a whole system, which for the first time is very visible. It's very difficult to deny it. And he is very worried. He's doing his best to keep the last bit of thousands and thousands of files, which include him, invisible. I hope he fails, because I believe in the wish of Americans for a democracy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, this is exactly right. You know, but you know, blackmail is their it's their choice. That's what they do. It's their MO. We see it in the Hollywood. We see it in the music industry. You know, this is their way of maintaining power over the underlings. And right now, I said right from the beginning, Trump was a Trojan horse. His first administration was to gain our trust, and the second one was going to destroy us. And that's exactly what he's doing. We are the United States of Israel. And you know, what's making it even worse is these Zionist Christian pastors that are just keep brainwashing and gaslighting their congregation into just being Stepford wives for Israel.
Absolutely.
And if you guys want to call me anti-Semitic for saying that, by all means, I will stand by it till my death. Let me tell you, because I will not bow to them.
At this point, I'm past caring, because it's all on us now, right? I mean, if anybody believes that what they're doing in the Middle East is going to start and stop there, you got another thing coming, because it's coming to you, right? It's coming to me.
Iran has already said that jihad is coming here to American soil. It's coming. We've known for years, Robbie, that we've had sleeper cells. We've got jihad camps here in the United States training people on our soil. You know, our borders have been open for the last how many years under the Biden administration? They've let in these you know, and we've looked at these guys. These are military trained men coming over here. There's nothing, you know, they're not scared of anything. They're not trying to get asylum. They're coming over here to lay ground to take us out. They're going to wipe us out from the inside. It's all planned out.
Yeah, but we know a lot of it's CIA, really. The FFs.
Right.
DIA, Mossad, you name it, all
Like,
the
look at
agencies.
Robbie. Look at how they control. Look at how easily they control people with the COVID.
Ugh.
They know people. They know what to do to control people. They've been studying human psychology for decades through the Tavistock, and now we just, well, not we, because none of us that I know buckled under this, but they had people wearing masks. They had people stay 6 feet apart. They had stickers down on the floor of grocery stores telling people which way to walk and which way, and people did it.
Well, it's the fear factor, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
They control us through fear.
Fear-based mind control works.
I mean, what happened last week? I mean, let's forget this week. Let's forget the whole week. Let's forget the whole war situation for a minute. Yeah, what happened the previous week? Mexico and the cartels. What's the name? What's the initials? The name of the biggest cartel in Mexico? Can you remember? Somebody in the comments will tell me anyway. But the biggest cartel, right? Basically, there was an operation because we know what happened with Venezuela with Maduro, right? Yeah, right. And how smooth that went. I mean, with the technology that they said that they used as well, the special forces used that special technology. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right. And then they turned their attention to Mexico because Trump
the Sinaloa
declared war.
Cartel?
Yeah, it's just that they that was it was pretty scary to watch, really, right? It was, because nobody expected it. It just came out of the blue and bang, 1 minute everything seemed on the up and up, and the next minute you've got the biggest cartel trying to get revenge with the Mexican government over the death of their leader. Yeah, and it was like, well, what's happening with that? Yeah, because it's the fear factor, right? We know now, right, that the next phase is going to be Cuba. Cuba's about to get invaded.
They're talking to Cuba. They're talking. What's his name? Marco Rubio. Rubio's talking to Cuba.
Yeah, I mean,
he was already being laid out. He
wasn't installed because he was a good politician, really. Come on, let's be fair, right? These people know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they know who they are, right? We know who they are, right? We know that they're all secret society members and whatnot. Yeah, they all got part of the agenda. Yeah, let's have it right. Yeah, this will, and this is the thing. See, right? We think it's all political or geopolitical or this and that. Yeah. This world is essentially run by the occult, right? The occult is running running things behind the scenes, behind the curtain. This world is essentially run by the occult, and it has done for a long time. Yeah,
they are running the spiritual element of it.
Oh, absolutely, they are running the show, right? Let's have it right. Yeah, if there's something going on in the world, it's been planned secretly behind closed doors, yeah, by people that we will never ever even hear of or see or know their faces. They could walk past you in the street and you'd never know it was them, right? But like I said, this agenda, right, is coming to fruition. They don't need half of these people anymore, right? Because Satan's got what he wants. What has he got? He's got a seat of 12 in a special place in Astana, right? He's got his world government ready to go, right? Yep. He doesn't need the apparatus that he needed to set it up. They've served their purpose. I mean, obviously there'll be certain people and certain organizations that are essential to the running of this new world order, right? But there's a lot of them that they don't need
Protocol
them.
15. Protocol 15 lays out exactly what's going to happen. Everybody's expendable, and
everybody.
Protocol 15. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the Protocols of Leonard Elder Zion. Protocol 15 lays it out right there.
Because we know essentially what they're preparing for, right? We know they're preparing for the return of Christ, right? In order to do that, they need the one world government. They need the Antichrist to come out onto the scene, right? He hasn't come out yet. Yeah, but he's behind the scenes directing the traffic. Yeah, making sure that everything's going right, left, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, and making sure that everybody is sticking to their
just
script.
waiting for his moment.
And while I on the subject of Christ, yeah, let's play this a second, because this happened only a couple of days ago. Very important, yeah.
Lettering here, it says advocacy groups reports commanders giving similar. Hey, so do you remember this naval flood map that's been circulating around on the internet for the past couple of years? Well, I want to show you something that I found very interesting today while reading. See, as you guys know, this is what took place yesterday. The U.S. troops were told Iran war is for Armageddon and the return of who I call Yahusha. And if you read even further, the little lettering here says advocacy groups reports commanders giving similar messages at more than 30 other installations in every branch of the military. But I want to focus on this word right here, Armageddon. The word Armageddon is found in your Bible in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16, in which it says, "Then they gathered the kings together to the place that in the Hebrew is called Armageddon." Well, let me tell you, I've done many videos lately about the 10 kings coming together in the earth, proclaim peace, 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 and then turning perdition and destruction and turn that peace into a disaster everywhere, right? Well, that's this Armageddon war that's going on. And as you know, a war is not something that takes place instantly and is over with instantly. It's a war that goes on for a while. And during this war, here's how part of it concludes. So you got the war of Armageddon, in which the kings of the earth are gathered together, a world war, right, called Armageddon. And then it says this. It says that there was flashes of lightnings, rumblings, pearls of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since mankind has been on the earth, and it's so tremendous of a quake. Well, it's such a big earthquake as this that happens during a great war like that. Could it be the destruction that follows also is mentioned following this? Well, the very next thing that happens is the destruction of the great city of mystery, Babylon the Great. And the great city is split into 3 parts. And then you have the cities of the nations collapse. See, it says, God remembered Babylon the Great and gave her the cup of fury of the wine of the fury of his wrath. Which once again brings me back to this. 1, 2, 3. See, a lot of people only know that Revelation at the end of it says, come out of Babylon, but they don't focus on all the other prophecies about the destruction of Babylon the Great. And what Jeremiah said also, flee from Babylon, run for your lives, do not be destroyed because of her sins. Which is why Revelation and the destruction of Babylon the Great says, come out of her, my people, so you do not take part in her sins nor her plagues. Because why? That's at the point of the Lord's vengeance, and he will repay her what she deserves. But let's keep going forward. And then if you read further on in the same chapter, it says that how Shechem will be captured, the boast of the whole earth seized, how desolate Babylon will be among the nations. The sea will rise over Babylon, the flood map. Its roaring waves will cover her. Her towns will be desolate, a dry and desert land, a land where no one lives, through which no one travels, and I will punish Bel in Babylon and make him spew out what he has swallowed. Hence why Babylon is drunk off of the blood of the saints. That's the whole point. He takes what he drank and spews it back upon him, blood for blood, so to speak, and the nations will no longer stream to him, and the wall of Babylon will fall. You know, like that wall between us and the drug cartels right now? Could it be the same king of Babylon it talks about in Revelation 9:11, where it calls him literally Apollo and Abaddon, that's stirring up the nations at war and then overcoming and persecuting the saints of the land after that as well? The one talking about the golden age coming, right? Golden boy. Well, could this be him? That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yeah, and one more thing. See, this great and final battle doesn't happen before the 1,000-year reign. This great and final battle takes place at the end of the world. and none other than the short season of Satan, in which after the 1,000 years were over, Satan was released from his prison, and he goes out and deceives the nations in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, which I've talked about a lot lately, and to gather them for battle, hence the world war, and to gather them together for battle, as we just read about in Jeremiah and all the other readings. And the number of them is like the sand of the seashore. They marched across the breadth of the earth, a military, and surrounded the camp of God's people and the city he loves. This is why when Satan goes out, he goes to stir up the nations at war. And see, there's mixtures of wheat gathered around some tares. And what's taking place is this is the time of harvest where it says, let the tares and the wheat grow together. And at the time of harvest, first snatch up the tares, put them in bundles, and then gather my wheat into the barn. Well, that's exactly why we're living in those days, as the camp, the tent, the tabernacles, the buildings in which the Holy Spirit now lives, us. This is called a temple according to the Word of God, in which the Holy Spirit of the Father, Yahuwah, lives. That's what it says. And it also calls us a city of light set upon a hill. The hands and feet of the Father. He's got his throne in the heavens, and his earth is his footstool where his feet rest. That's us, right? We indeed are the camp of saints that are surrounded by our terrors and enemies right now. And they're not all just wearing uniforms. A lot of them are politicians. A lot of them are sitting as church pastors. It is up to you to have discernment to figure out the difference between the two.
No, something that you said really troubles me, right? Because there is a belief, and I'm sitting on the fence with this, and I hope to the Most High that it's not right, yeah? And what it is that there is a belief that the 1,000 years reign of Christ has already happened, right?
Yeah.
And that we quite possibly could be in Satan, what they call Satan's little season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is preceding the Battle of Armageddon, right? Now, I couldn't say either way, right? But I know for a fact that there is 1,000 years missing out of our history.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that 1,000 years, they have wiped a civilization out of the history books, which we know is the Tatarian Empire, a very technologically advanced empire, right? They also have removed any reference to the Dark Ages, where I would like to tell people that black people, or shall we say the true Israelites, were ruling part of the Europe, in fact most of it, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales and Europe for at least 800 years, right? And it's, if you don't believe me, you want to look into it, yeah? It's in the architecture. If you go Germany, you can see it in some of the ancient architecture, yeah? So we know that happened, that they whitewashed history.
Well, that's why the noses are gone from a lot of the statues, because
it's not just that. It's not just that. There's plethora of history, but we won't go into that now because it's such a rabbit hole. Somebody's Iron says in the comments that it's a holy war between Christianity and Islam. I beg to differ. Yeah, it's a war between Islam and Judaism. Yeah, where Christianity it will be with Christianity to a certain extent, right? Albert Pike told you what it was going to be, that the forces of Islam against the forces of Judaism would clash with each other, mutually destroy each other, right? Just extinguishing Christianity, bringing out the nihilists and the atheists, right, to destroy everybody else, right? And then they would be able to bring the doctrine of Lucifer onto the world stage, onto the table, right? Which goes into what I said before about the agenda, yeah, to destroy the satanic side of it, to bring the Luciferian side of it into the open, onto the world stage, yeah, which the world will accept gladly, yeah. because they'll be disillusioned. The Christians will be absolutely disillusioned with Christianity because they want to bring their false god. Yeah, and that's how it is. Now going back to, yeah, there you go. There's the letter, right? Detailing 3 world wars.
It
And
says
which war we?
the third. It says the Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. And Robbie, we just talked about this. The United States is going towards all of that right now. Literally,
Well, they're going to lose billions. They've lost billions already, right? If this war went on for months, you're looking at trillions gone, up in smoke, done, finished. Yeah. The worst thing that the United States could have done for Israel, right, was pick a fight with Iran. In fact, here's a guy who's going to explain it to you right now.
It already stopped 600 days ago.
Let's just go back.
Be out of your mind if you think that America entering the war and escalating the war is going to be good for you in any way whatsoever. They want to finish you. Don't you understand that? Look, construction in your country, in Israel, has already stopped. It already stopped 600 days ago. When your buildings get damaged, they're staying damaged. Do you understand? Do you have any idea how much more damage Iran can absorb than you can absorb? Their country is 70 times larger than you. 70 times. Their army is at least 4 times larger than you. And their soldiers aren't on TikTok. They're not quitting. They're not refusing to serve. They're not getting taken off duty for mental problems. They're not committing suicide. They're not killing themselves. No, it doesn't even matter how much damage America could potentially do to Iran. You cannot sustain a fraction of what Iran can sustain, and that's just a fact. If this goes on for even just 6 months, you're looking at an economic toll on your economy of upwards of $165 billion. That's 35% of your GDP. Double that if it goes on for a year, and it can go on for a year. If it's a full-blown war and Iran starts to get replenishments of their artillery from Russia, China, North Korea, whatever, and if they reactivate their proxies, oh yes, it can go on. And yes, the fact of the matter is that your people all have somewhere else to go when things get bad. Iranians don't. You understand? Iranians don't even have to carry out a mass casualty attack in Israel. They don't have to focus on that. All they have to do is land one rocket in one building, and everyone in every apartment of that building is on a plane to New York, on a plane to Paris or to Moscow. They can literally depopulate your whole country just by targeting infrastructure. Because at the end of the day, you're all pampered Westerners, after all. You're not trying to live without Wi-Fi and cappuccinos. You know it and I know it. You're not ready to die for the Zionist cause. I mean, be serious. And then there's the fact that, what do you think happens if they escalate the war? What do you think happens when American soldiers start dying for you? Listen, Americans don't even want to see American soldiers overseas supposedly dying for their own country in Iraq, in Afghanistan, wherever else, according to the rationale that they give their soldiers and their soldiers' families. You notice that they didn't even send their own soldiers to go and fight in Ukraine against their arch enemy, Russia. I mean, firstly, what on earth makes you think that they're even going to be willing to fight and die for you when they don't even want to send their soldiers, like I said, to go fight and die supposedly for their own country, you know, in various military engagements around the world? What makes you think that you're not just going to get Ukrained out of existence by your best friend, Uncle Sam? They're willing to fight Russia down to the last Ukrainian. What makes you think that they're not going to be willing to fight Iran all the way down to the last Israeli? Wallahi, you're not reading the room at all.
and he's absolutely right. Right now,
Who is that?
I can't remember his name. He's Iranian, but he's very clever man. Yeah.
Wow.
Israel right now is getting absolutely battered. Right. Iran has run out of all their missiles. Right, all their old missiles, all their old stocks done. Now they are going to show you what they've got. Right, they got some scary stuff. Have you seen
Look,
these
you know what,
hypersonic
Robbie?
missiles?
Robbie, if what we saw happen in Venezuela and what the eyewitnesses to what happened in Venezuela, okay, with the weapons that America has, I
Yeah.
can't imagine what the Iranians have, considering that they've had 40 years to perfect mass destruction.
If anybody believes the mainstream media, Iran is running out of missiles. Yeah, they can't sustain this. It's going to be done soon and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
When really, in reality, it's quite the reverse. They have underground missile cities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their launchers. They've taken out a lot of launchers. Yeah. They've said, oh, well, we've taken out. They've got 40% left. But what metric have they used? Where was their start point? Yeah.
Right. Let me before you go to, because I know where you're going with this, but I just want to say everything that we're seeing has been calculated with Iran as well. I firmly believe that the Ayatollah was killed. He wanted to be taken out.
Oh, absolutely.
He was at home watching TV.
Yeah, listen, the man was 88 years old, 86 or whatever.
He was 88. His health was failing. He had nothing. I mean, really seriously, his quality of life was poor. And now, you know what? He's a martyr.
Yeah.
So if you think that Iran is this, because a lot of people do, they think Iran. When they think Iran, they think camels, desert, and tents. Okay. That's not what we're fighting, guys.
When they think Iran, they think Iraq. Iran is
Right.
no Iraq. Put it that way. Yeah.
Right.
Iraq might be going to war with Iran again, because they shot down a drone. I think it was Basra. It flew over the airport. It wasn't actually going to hit the airport. It was going to hit one of the bases there. Also, I think it was Azerbaijan are threatening to go to war with Iran. There was a drone attack, but it was a FF by a certain country. Yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody, but yeah, listen, yeah, right. Iran, right, are no idiots, yeah. I mean, they got their own nuclear program for Lord's sake, yeah. They are very educated people, very intelligent people. If you, yeah, well, they're not thick. Let's put it that way, yeah. Right, and they can hold their own. They've got a population of 90 million people, right? And they are battle hardened. I mean, they were in a war with Iraq for a number of years against Saddam Hussein, right? We all know the history of that.
Right.
Yeah. This isn't nothing new. Yeah. They've got missiles that don't need launchers now. They can launch them out of the ground, right? In the desert. It doesn't leave a heat trail. The Americans don't know where they are, so they can't just pinpoint them, right, and take them out. They literally come out of the sand. Yeah, these are hypersonic missiles that can go up to 18,000 miles an hour. They that fast that the Patriot missiles can't take them out. Yeah.
Well, what they've actually done is they've depleted their old stockpile, which is actually weakened Israel's defense. I mean, the Iron Dome is failing, right?
Yeah, and I think that's on purpose. Literally, America, all the Arab states are literally they've extinguished a year's worth of missiles in 4 days. They're literally done in a few days' time. If this goes on for another week, which we know it will, they'll be out of missiles. America have literally gone to their stockpile, took some of their launchers from South Korea, and they're literally shipping them over to the Middle East. The problem with that,
Ukraine for missiles back.
They've asked Ukraine for the drone technology to take out the drones. Yeah, isn't that a turn up for the books? Isn't that ironic? Yeah.
Right.
The problem with getting the Patriot systems from South Korea back up to the Middle East, it's going to take them 3 weeks. The problem with that, they don't have 3 weeks. They don't have 3 days. They're going to run out. Yeah, then what? And then Iran is going to launch what they got. They've already started. Tonight, the US are launching what they say is the biggest bombing campaign ever in the history of a bombing campaign. So when we've done this show, obviously, we're going to go and find out. I've had a lot of my videos that I put up of the devastation of the missiles coming down on Tel Aviv and Haifa, from X and Twitter. There's no censorship on there, put it that way. And there's a lot of stuff I put up this week, that the mainstream media are refusing to put up. In fact, Israel doesn't want anybody in Israel recording. It's now illegal in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai. It is now illegal, to film anything that's going on there, as far as missile attacks are concerned. You also got the biggest problem, the Straits of Hormuz. That is a whole different shit show on its own. The price of oil is going through the roof, absolutely ridiculously.
Yeah, we've been watching the oil prices and
Saudi
diesel here is going up roughly about 20 cents a day.
Saudi Arabia have got a stockpile of oil, only for the next 100 days.
100 days.
When that runs out, the problem with it is that, China gets a lot of its oil from Iran. If they don't get their oil, their industry collapses. If their industry collapses, their economy goes. And if that goes, then the world is done. It's finished as far as because we rely on China, really, economy to prop up all our economies, really. It's done. Yeah. America's done. As far as that. The big thing that's going to, there's something big coming, and from what I mean, I've got a video I can show. I'll show in a few minutes. Is that there's a cyber attack coming? The one that we've all talked about, the big one. They're gonna the elite, the Israel's going to literally launch a massive cyber attack in the United States and possibly other countries as well. And that will just finish it all off. It'll be done then. It'll be a done deal. In fact, let me just see if I just find it a sec. This might be it.
Cornered and desperate. They're rolling the dice. The walls are closing in on the global elite. Their conspiracies are unraveling in real time. Their cover stories shredded. And the public has finally stopped buying the script. Cornered and desperate. They're rolling the dice on the big one. Military insiders and cyber defectors are blowing the whistle. A dirty bomb false flag on US soil. Synchronized with a total cyber and communications blackout. Power grids fried, banks frozen, phones dead. Cities plunged into darkness and panic. The playbook, crystal clear. Ignite the outrage bomb, pin it all on Iran, and herd the masses screaming into World War III. Seize control of DC, shove every so-called anti-Semite into gulags, and roll out the one world government like it's destiny. This isn't theory anymore. This is the trap snapping shut. And the countdown just hit 0. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. Just as the US plunged into war with Iran, all to serve Israel's Zionist agenda, Mossad operatives were caught red-handed in allied nations, scheming epic false flags to hijack the headlines and control the chaos. Ask yourself, why is the media actively covering up this information?
So it's probably hasn't been reported, but it's a fact that last night in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Israelis be committing bombings in two Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? No. No. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and UAE and Saudi and Bahrain and Oman and Kuwait.
And America. These countries host US military bases. These countries are US allies.
The Gulf is not a threat to us. We have military bases in these countries. These are some of our closest allies. All of them are closer allies than Israel, by far. They're our friends. But they've been really hurt. And in a place like Dubai, which is basically part of a country, it's an emirate within the United Arab Emirates, but it's also a luxury brand, basically. People go to Dubai because it's beautiful and rich and clean, and above all, because it's safe and orderly. It's got the busiest airport in the world. You start seeing video on Instagram of smoke in the Dubai airport, and you're like, I think I'm going to Cabo this year. Oh, sorry, drug cartels. Whatever. Maybe you go to Sedona this year. It really, really hurts these countries. And Israel wanted to hurt these countries. That's the point. Wanted to hurt these countries. Wanted to sow chaos and disorder.
The chaos and disorder is just getting started, according to military insiders, who warn that Israel's false flags will not be limited to the Gulf. But before we dive into the details, let's pause for a moment on something truly disturbing. Israel has grown so confident, so untouchable in its position right now, that they're openly floating ideas for false flag operations. They're tossing around different scenarios, debating ways to stage incidents and mislead the world, all out in the open.
Missiles will hit the mosque and clear the place for the third Bet HaMikdash. That could also be a miracle. If it was up to me, the last time when they shot hundreds of missiles, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and shoot it down. You know, then all the Arabs will go against Iran, and it will be the end of the problems. You make them fight with each other, this bunch of lunatics.
According to a high-level military insider, Israel is secretly plotting a major false flag attack on US soil, designed to be blamed on Iran, in a calculated bid to terrorize the public and march them in lockstep into World War III. Matt Bracken, a former Navy SEAL and geopolitical expert, shared these warnings to highlight the risks of escalation in the Middle East. Bracken referenced Israel's historical false flags, such as the 1967 Israeli attack on the USS Liberty, designed to draw America into war with Egypt. This remains the blueprint for how Israel might target US ships in the Persian Gulf today.
Whatever happens in Iran at this point could easily be teed up for a false flag. Just somebody in a building shoots into a crowd, and there's Trump and Netanyahu, and we've got the aircraft carriers, strike groups going in. But people need to understand something. And this, I printed something. It didn't turn out very well, but I'm a real map guy, a geography guy. Iran is like 5 times bigger than Iraq and 10 times bigger than South Vietnam. I mean, at one point we had 500,000 soldiers in South Vietnam, which is 1/10 the size of Iran. And at that time in the 1960s, our Navy was unchallenged. We could drive right to the coast of Vietnam and not be scratched. Aircraft carriers would park right off in North Vietnam doing airstrikes all day long. We know now that's completely gone out the window. The Houthis, with drones and truck-launched small missiles, were able to drive our Navy out of the Red Sea. They drove us out of the Red Sea because the modern math doesn't work for our type of warfare.
Israel's able to sneak all these missiles and drones in to attack and kill a bunch of the Iranian leadership. So Israel has infiltrated, their operatives are absolutely false flag. If Trump says you kill civilians, I attack you, he just created a scenario for Israel to do a false flag.
Bracken is urging extreme vigilance in the coming weeks, predicting that a staged incident blamed on Iran could rally public support for war, bypassing congressional approval, and leading to catastrophic consequences for American forces and the entire world. And remember when I asked why the mainstream media is actively covering up the truth about Israel's actions? We've got the answer after the break. Warning, it's terrifying.
Yeah, unfortunately, showing that last little bit there, it's on your money, isn't it? Isn't it on your architecture in the cathedral in New York? Yeah, we always thought, remember when we thought that, when we started panicking back in the day, we was thinking that, Russia was going to drop a nuke somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean and drown New York City. Well, could the same be said about blaming Iran?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's still yet to come.
And that's an Illuminati card, actually,
It is.
showing an asteroid. But I mean, we have the man-made earthquake machines. Who knows what they could do?
Well,
Israel.
wasn't it a nuke though? It was on the money, wasn't it? It was a nuke followed by a tidal wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on the money.
Yeah.
But
real.
Netanyahu has the ability. Netanyahu has the ability to carry out a cyber attack on the United States. Look at what he did in Lebanon with the pagers in 2024.
Yes.
I mean, he literally, I'm pulling it up right here. 2024 Lebanon electronic device attacks. This is on September 17th and 18th of 2024, thousands of handheld pagers and hundreds of walkie-talkies intended for use by Hezbollah exploded simultaneously in two separate events across Lebanon and Syria in an Israeli attack nicknamed Operation Grim Beeper. According to an unnamed Hezbollah official, the attack took 1,500 Hezbollah fighters out of action due to injuries. According to the Lebanese government, the attack killed 42 people, including 12 civilians, and injured 4,000 civilians, according to their numbers, their Minister of Labor. Some lost fingers, hands, eyes, as well as brain shrapnel. The incident is described as Hezbollah's biggest security breach since the start of the Israeli-Hezbollah conflict in 2023. I'm going to play you guys a short video and let it come from the horse's mouth.
You have cell phones here? No? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? I mean, a lot of the cell phones, the medicines, the foods, you eat cherry tomatoes. You know where that was made? And they said, oh, Israel is isolated. Israel can't break out of the siege. No, I said, we will. Some of them have stopped weapon component shipments. Can we get out of this? Yes, we can. We're pretty good at producing weapons. Like intelligence, we share both with the United States. A good chunk of your intel. So those in Western Europe who think they can deny us things will not succeed. We can break this siege, and we will.
Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. But here we are.
Israel has been. This has been on planning for I don't even know how long. Probably since the inception of the illegal state of Israel. I mean, again, everything's done according to plan, according to the numbers, according to their playbook. And wow. Yeah.
It gives you pause for thought, doesn't it?
It does.
You know,
this whole week has been crazy. We haven't even brought up an incident that happened that I told you before we went live that I'm going to be 60 years old this year. And not in my entire 60 years have I ever been so ashamed of being an American as I am right now. For a lot of reasons, but mostly I just don't recognize the administration that's in power right now. And I'm not, I'm not a Biden friend. I'm not a left, right, Democrat, Republican. I'm
Biden.
I'm
Which
anti.
Biden?
I'm anti
Which
corruption.
Biden though? Which
Right,
which
one?
which Biden are you talking
The
about?
tall one, the
Because
short one, the yeah,
according to the Epstein files, he was executed in 2019.
right.
Yeah, but didn't we say that anyway about
Yeah.
him, whoever that was? Because that's definitely not the Biden that I remember, that we all remembered in that. Yeah, this is the just another useful idiot from central casting. Yeah,
Right.
Isn't it Trump that keeps going on about central casting all the time? Keeps dropping about central casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who is he? I mean, apparently the real Donald Trump died in 1998, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So who are these people? Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey, right? Jim Carrey.
Yeah, who's that guy?
To me, Jim Carrey was done purposefully to get people to be like, wow, wait a minute, wait a second, you know.
Yeah, but the thing about Jim Carrey was talking about, the thing that Jim Carrey was talking about, supposedly being awake and being all this and that. Yeah.
Well, he said if I come back, he said if I come back, it's not me.
Yeah, but it's all part of the script. They're all part of the occult. They're all part of the agenda. This is the
It's a big club and we're not part of it.
This is the central point that I've been trying to get to, that they're all part of this agenda to expose the truth, right, for this so-called Great Awakening. But we know, you know, and I know, and a lot of people are waking up to the fact that we know that there are two awakenings. There's the proper, real biblical awakening that everybody should be waking up to. And then there's the false awakening, the Great Awakening, which I call the Masonic Awakening, which the Bible calls the flood of the dragon, right? Which is the one that will lead you to the New World Order and your absolute destruction. And I hope people are waking up to it. I need to find more material of what I found to be able to explain it to you. The E511 documentaries, a lot of them have been scrubbed from YouTube, but there are some still floating about on the internet that explains in detail about the New Age agenda, right? It even tells you about the terminology of conspiracy theorist, which people believe the CIA created it back in the 60s to shut people up. No, it wasn't at all. The New Age, the term conspiracy theory was created by the New Age movement agenda thousands of years ago, right? It's not a new term, right? It's such an amazing story to tell that will open people's eyes to what this New World Order is really about. This Satan's plan. He's got it right under wraps. He is gonna deceive the whole world. Yeah, when the Antichrist world leader, and I'm now edging my bets on Jared Kushner because he just stay, but he still might not be. You know, we've had this peace board, right? Which
yeah, we've been looking at it.
Was it the Philippines? I think it's the Philippines. The guy, the leader, the billionaire, or whoever is from the Philippines, has suspended his membership.
Is he the guy that was doing the quote miracles?
I'm not sure, but
doing some sort of
he's literally today is suspended. He's suspended his membership. Yeah, based on what America and Israel did to those poor sailors on the off the coast of Sri Lanka.
I don't know if anybody's heard. I know that it was the first time I heard about it. Was when you told me about it, and then I researched it. Guys, I mean, I can't.
People have been calling bullshit on my page, and I'm being shadow banned on my page. Actually, I've been censored because I got a few fake false news fact checking things, and I challenged them. I was about 4 or 5, and they've censored me that my page is no longer being recommended. My traffic has gone down a cliff in the last few days. Not so much my profile, yeah, but basically I put up the other day, and it was confirmed again today, and I put it up again today from another source, right? That these Iranian sailors was invited to go on a joint military exercise, naval exercise, which America was involved in as well, was invited to. These sailors were paraded in front of the president, in the prime minister or whatever it was, in India, in Sri Lanka, sorry. And then these sailors left to go back up to Iran, right? Is an unarmed vessel, frigate, which America then they basically left the exercise and then proceeded to torpedo the ship, which was unarmed, and then refused to pick up the bodies of the dead sailors and the survivors, which Sri Lanka had to go out of their way to go and rescue what was left and pick up the dead bodies out of the sea. This in itself is a war crime, right?
Yeah.
Goes against the Geneva Convention. This is even the Nazis used to rescue the sailors, right? This is
But this
evil.
isn't the first time. This isn't the first time this administration did it, because they did it off the coast of Venezuela.
Well, they were they were firing. Pete Escuff, whatever his name is, ordered the military, the Navy, to fire on these boats, claiming that they were drug boats. Yeah. Yep. And when they saw the survivors and the boats, he ordered them to
bombed it again.
Horrible
this
little
right here.
bastard.
This right here. Like I said, I've never in my life been so embarrassed to be an American as I am right now.
Irons has just made a good point about the World Cup. The World Cup football tournament is in America soon, in a few months, in about 3.5 months. You can forget that. Half of the nations aren't going to come. Let me just get that right. They aren't going to be cut. There won't be that. You can forget that. If it does, it'll be a miracle. Yeah. One of the part of the tournament is actually in one of the cities in Mexico where the cartel is running riot right now. So I don't know how they're going to manage to do that. Yeah. You're going to have Cuba's going to be invaded in a minute. Right. And then quite possibly Greenland. Yeah. And then wherever else they decide to go, because America is done. I'm not talking about your America, because that is done in itself. Yeah, I'm talking about South America. Yeah, they've already been Israelis in Argentina setting fire to forests and that in Argentina, because it's a mass land grab. Yeah, it'll be all the places. It'll be Colombia will be next on the cards. Then it'll be Bolivia. Then it'll be Guatemala. Then it'll be Panama. Then it'll be Chile. Then it'll be Argentina, and any other country down there that I've missed out. Yeah, Belize. All of it. It's all. Then you're talking about the Caribbean as well, right? They're going to take the lot. Yeah, the fire sale has only just begun. Yeah. Then it'll be Canada next. Yeah. Listen, it's all go. They got.
Everything's got to go.
Everything's got to go in order to take it. They've got to take it. Yeah. Europe, better watch out. Yeah. There's going to be a war, a big war in a minute. It ain't just going to be Ukraine. Yeah. Poland have just said that they want to seek their own nuclear weapons. That's going to go down well. Oh yeah, that was only 2 days ago. Yeah,
that's going to go over like a fart in church.
Exactly. Yeah, and you've got Russia and China sitting on the sidelines right now, watching and observing, but
watching and waiting.
Yeah, China yesterday was seen in Iran dropping off supplies. Interesting. Listen, this shit show's only just started. Yeah, and it's
And you know
getting
what, guys?
nastier.
Let's not forget that we still have those K Club missiles sitting off our coasts in those container ships. So don't even think that we're not going to get our hair mussed on this one, because I'm sure we're going to.
Yeah, just buckle up, people, and make sure you got enough supplies in, because in a minute, yeah, you're gonna need them. You know, all those preppers out there, they had the right idea. I mean, we've all been prepping in our own little ways, you know, and it's yeah.
I'm just. What do you say? What do you say to the words "I told you so"? I don't want to say that, because I didn't want to be right, but here we are.
That's it. You need to start selling T-shirts with "Yeah, I did tell you so," and I told you so. You'd make a fortune.
Probably.
You'd make a fortune right now. Yeah. I mean, there's no point investing in Bitcoin. There's no point investing in Bitcoin, because that's going to fall down the toilet, and we know who created that, don't we?
I've got a show. Yes, I've got a show planned on that because I'm going to revisit what I did in 2016 when we talked about the Bitcoin Illuminati, the big meeting that they had on Necker Island. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, Bitcoin can't be touched by the elite." Shut up.
But the other bloody created it.
Yes, it can.
They created it.
Yeah. So
created your money system. So there you go. Yeah.
When I saw Richard Branson's name in the files, I was just like, "Yes, I knew it."
Was anybody shocked? No. Everything that we've talked about that was a conspiracy is no longer a conspiracy. Yeah. And believe you me, we've got a lot of things to talk about the Epstein files. Yeah, because it's not done yet. Yeah, the exposure has only just started. The literally tens of terabytes that they've got is going to show some of the worst things of humanity. If you thought Frazzle RIP, right, was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet, people. Let me tell you that now, right? But
I've read some files that pertained to the dental chair, and okay, let's just say dental chair, feeding tubes, and dolls.
And
that's all
living dolls.
Because I'm gonna.
Not. It's
not dolls like baby dolls, creating.
No. Yeah. I'll stop you right there. Yeah. We'll wait till they lift. We'll wait till they lift the censorship on that. Yeah, before you talk about that. I mean, you can talk about it. I mean, Sean Atwood talks about all this stuff, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to take the risk. We're not big enough and brave enough.
Right.
Yeah. But there's a lot. There is a lot yet to come, and the reason it's coming is because they want it out there. Major mainstream media for the last 3 weeks. I mean, all right then, from a political angle, who would believe that the so-called Democrats, yeah, even though we know the two-party system is a complete load of horseshit, yeah, would be the ones that would be demanding the release of the Epstein files and the unredacted, yeah? Because anybody's there looking at it and thinking, that's quite amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Now they're the good guys, right?
Yeah, just like that.
Justice for the victims. They can give a flying F about the victims, yeah?
Nope.
This is part of the agenda of exposure, yeah? Because it all needs to be exposed from what I've just said tonight in the show. Yep. And this is exactly as I explained it 6 years ago. Yeah. Right to the letter. In fact, I've been sitting there for a few weeks because I only just recently reconnected with you the last couple of days. Yeah. Thought, I bet Laurie's I bet Laurie's like, yeah.
Oh,
Because
I've
it is.
mentioned you. I've mentioned you quite a few times, and making sure people remember those words and those, what you had said, because I saw it. It was unfolding. I saw it, coming to fruition right before our eyes.
And you know what? You know what's next as well that we spoke about? Election fraud.
Elections, yeah.
Yeah, election fraud. That's the next thing that's coming. Yeah. There's been a criminal referral for a number of people. One of them is a former president of Barack Hussein Obama. There's been a criminal referral, right? Been sent.
He's actually lawyered up, and he's lawyered up. Not it's a criminal attorney. Actually, I think he's got
yeah. Well, this only happened today, right? There's been a referral. There's a whole number of people. I haven't got the list in front of me, but in the next few days or weeks, right, you're going to see his name in the media, right? It's going to be another print, and the Andrew that was formerly Prince type. They did say the first arrest would shock the world, did it not?
Yes, that was another thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, I mean, at some point we're going to have to talk about Q, not tonight because it'll go on forever, right? But we need to.
Yes, I do want to invite you. I do want to invite you back, because this is something that, we can't get through everything in just one show.
No, we can't, right? But summarizing with that, all those things, all those. I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't. It makes me sick in my mouth thinking about Q and QAnon or Q, right? But I watched, I read, I took it all in, all of it, yeah, because it was there.
Against my better judgment.
Well, I predicted Q, right, and what it was when it first come out, and I told you about it, yeah, and it is what it is, but
it is.
It's so deep. Oh, we did.
But it was a necessary.
It was necessary.
It was a necessary evil. It was necessary.
Because the information that was being presented to us was too detailed. I was even on the 4chan forum, right, at the time when it was a big thing. But this was round about the pizza ran through the gate, right, and I was like, you know what I mean? This is quite detailed. This is too detailed for it to be something that's just been plucked out of thin air. There's an agenda behind this. Yeah. This isn't organic, right? This isn't some white. This isn't some white hat shite, right? This is something else. I needed to put a thing to it. When I realised there was a Jesuit connection to it, it all made sense. But why though? Why would they do that? Why would they want to do that? Why would they want to red pill people like that? Exactly. Yeah. And now we know why. Now we know why. Yeah. And it's all going to come to fruition. It's going to be like The Simpsons. Yeah. Which we know that load of horseshit. They didn't predict nothing. They was in on it.
Right.
They're in on it. It's in the Epstein files. All of it. Everything. Every last little thing is in there. And then more's going to come out. So many people are going to get exposed. How many people in the last couple of weeks either resigned, got arrested, or committed suicide? Or shall we say, unalived themselves? Yeah? And that's just the beginning. Because at the end of the day, even though it's a big game and it's a script and all that, because of the compartmentalization...
There's still going to be casualties. There's still going to be, again, when these people start going down, it's going to be strategic as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Did you see the look on Prince Andrew Mountbatten Boy Windsor? Did you see the look on his face?
He looked like
he didn't look like
a ghost. Oh my God.
I said when it come out, and I said, I reckon that they have sat him down and told him exactly what evidence they've got or what they think they've got, right? and they're going to be further investigations. And they said,
Oh,
that's bullshit.
it's like the it's just like the envelope at Bush's funeral when everybody got the envelope.
Yeah, they said that's bullshit. If that's the case,
same look on their face.
If that's the case, they wouldn't have let him go. They would have kept him in. I said, you don't know a damn thing, do you? Yeah. Listen, they've pulled him aside off the records, right? They've stopped the tape, right, and pulled him aside and showed him something.
Show him what they had.
Right? You know, like when they pull a president into the room after he goes into the White House for the first time and shows him the film.
Right.
I reckon they've done the same with Prince Andrew and says, right, this is what we believe we've got. And based on that, further investigations are pending because we might have to widen possible charges. And what happened the next day? What happened the very next day? They went back to all his properties again, looking for more evidence, right? And then certain things were being spoken about. And then they said then they started talking about that he may have been involved in the torture, or witnessing, or over involved in the torture and the unaliving of a minor, right? This is in the mainstream media. The very same mainstream media that said that it was all bullshit 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
People will figure it out. We're being played. We are being played on a major scale, right? But it doesn't mean that these things didn't happen. Oh, they happened, all right. The royal family's finished, right? They are done. Yeah.
What do you think people are going to do when they find out Fergie was involved in it too?
They already know. They know that so much stuff. Laurie, I don't know if you've been watching, but there's so much stuff coming out about Fergie. So on an hourly basis,
and the girls too. I mean,
and the girls,
Eugene, and
Beatrice, yeah.
She actually sold. She sold those girls to cover her debt.
Yeah, in a minute, Charles is going to be implicated, and William and Kate are going to be implicated, and I'm sure Harry's up to his neck in it as well. The royal family are finished. The monarchy is finished.
What's Harry's wife's name? Meghan Markle has ties to
Yeah. Andrew knew Meghan before Harry did.
Before Harry did, yeah. Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
Here's another conspiracy theory before we go. It's been wildly reported and talked about that Melina, right, had a fake pregnancy. That Baron is Ivana's son. You know, Ivanka. Is it Ivanka? Oh. Yeah, Ivanka. Yeah, the daughter, Donald Trump's daughter. Yeah, fathered Baron through his daughter.
Oh, Jesus.
They're saying DNA tests prove it.
Well, you know what? I've been showing those pictures of him and Ivanka for years, and I've said it on every occasion. There's something. Remember that video? We had a video on our original channel that had 750,000 views that talked about Ivanka and Trump and their strange.
Mr. Grab 'em by the hoochie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mr. Yeah. He told you who he was. He told you who he was.
He told you he was a snake. You didn't believe him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And now it's all the chickens are coming home to roost. Yeah. I can't see him surviving the next few months. He looks like he's on his way out. He looks really ill.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that was a good show.
I do too, Robbie, and I really want to thank you. And we will definitely be doing this again because there's a lot of things that people. I think the files are intimidating to a lot of people, and I think maybe if we break some of them down and put them in perspective, and to show people, and that would be something. We just got to figure out how to do it because it's some pretty dark stuff.
Well, there's so millions and millions and millions of files, yeah, and it's taken a long time to go through, but there's more to come.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot more that hasn't been released. Yeah, and they need to be released unredacted. Yeah,
right.
Not the victims, but the perpetrators.
Right. Perpetrators, absolutely.
Right? And I know they will. Right. I told you this. Germany and France have the files unredacted. Do you know who else has got them? I'll tell you. Vladimir Putin's got them as well. All of them. Got them all. I don't think he's the only person that's got them as well. But these are the main people the main areas that need to be maybe some cause for concern for certain people that are in those files. Right? Because some people are going to be joining the dots. Yeah. And some I mean the depositions between Hillary Clinton and Bill, right? How Hillary managed to keep a straight face, lying through her teeth. But we did see the video. We saw the video. She lost the plot. She knew the minute they mentioned the certain video that was on Anthony Weiner's laptop, right?
Yep. Or FD.
Lost the cool.
She did. She lost her cool. She lost her shit.
As far as Bill grinning and smiling, did you see his hands shaking?
Yeah.
Did you see him shaking when he was drinking the water?
I did.
Yeah? They know they're cooked. They are cooked. Yeah? It's only a matter of they've lied on the deposition. Right? They
End of the road for a lot of people.
They know that we know that they know that they got the evidence. I told you, everybody out there listening, 6 years ago that they had all the evidence of everyone, all the videos, right? They had all the CCTV. They got all the files, right? They got the videos, right, of the rituals, right? They've got videos of them forcing kids to do rituals on the island. I mean, the island, right, is just one little tip of many icebergs, right?
Yeah.
In the world, there's 55,000 islands, right? And a lot of them are used, not just islands, but places, countries. We'll use Ukraine as an example, right? We're talking about hunting parties, yeah. Listen, them files, they only just scratch the surface, right? There is worse coming out. This is stuff that
nightmares are made of.
The stuff you see on the dark web.
Yeah.
Right. And the worst thing about it is it's still going on right now as we speak. There are untold victims.
Epstein wasn't the only one. Just put it that way. Just because it didn't stop with Epstein. It didn't start with Epstein, and it didn't stop with Epstein. So.
But now we've got Operation Epstein Fury going on in the Middle East. But that's not going to stop it. That's not going to stop the release of the files. The only thing that would stop it is a nuclear war. And like I said, they can have a nuclear war if they want. But let me tell you, we will crawl out of the ashes like with fucking 7 legs. Right, 7-legged mutants will crawl out of the ashes, still demanding the release of the Epstein files. Yeah, it's not going to stop it. It's not going to stop it. It's going to happen.
Not going away. It's not going away.
It's a matter of time. The genie is out of the bottle, right? You can't make this go away. It's not going to go away. Pam Bond has been subpoenaed, right? She's now got to explain what the hell she thinks she was doing, covering them up.
Exactly.
Not if, but why. Why? Exactly. Yeah. And we'll see that little circus show go on. Yeah. But it's all going to come to fruition. It already has. It's already started. And in a way, I'm glad. I know that this is for an agenda, but these people have done unspeakable things for thousands of years. And they need to be taken off this planet. off this realm, I should say. They need to be held accountable. Yeah. And to see evil people, real satanic evil, like Hillary Clinton, sit there with a straight face, pretending that she knew nothing about nothing. Yeah. Ain't gonna wash no more. And I hope that they get what's coming to them. Because if they don't, eventually the Most High will take care of them.
Exactly. If they
Yeah.
don't get it in this life, they'll definitely get it in the next. So
Yeah. But just remember that even all the evil, the Most High is in control of all of it. Every last detail. Yeah. The seals are being opened. Yeah. The trumpets are being blown. Right. He's in control. Right. It's his timetable. Right.
those words on the
just
cross,
keep-
it is done. He won the battle
It's
for
done.
us. We just have to. It's been done. Exactly. He won.
Is right. Is right. So just buckle up, people, because it's going to be a real bumpy ride. Yeah. But we know who wins in the end. So that's a good thing, you know. And that's what gives me comfort.
And me too as well. Robbie, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. People have been wondering, when you were coming back, and I kept telling them, I'll be back. I'll be back. Just wait. Just be patient. And so
I've been on the sidelines.
yes,
I've been on the side. I've been
when
on the
Robbie's
sidelines.
when Robbie's quiet and he's not being, his presence isn't out there. You know that he's observing and he's researching and he's digging, and when he resurfaces, he has answers, just like you did tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. Okay, guys, that's all we got for you guys tonight, but we will be back. Robbie will be returning with more of the topics that we've discussed tonight. So I will be back on Sunday night. We're going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin and going down that rabbit hole again with Necker Island and the Bitcoin Illuminati. So join me then. Until next time, guys, remember, eyes open, no fear.